Seriously. Is your book alive and rampaging around the forest, scaring all the peasants? You don't want that. Alas, a lot of authors pull together what they think is a client attracting book, and what they have instead is a Franken-mess that's scaring their ideal clients away. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips on how you can ensure that your book is not a Franken-mess and that it attracts your ideal clients. And all my tips are inspired by the 1930s classic film Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff. It's such a good film. Such a good film. All right, number 1, your reader is the hero. You're just the mad scientist. Dr. Frankenstein thought that he was the star of the show, but his creation stole the spotlight. The same goes for your book. Don't focus on you and what you want. Focus on your readers and what they want. Your book should solve a top of mind, urgent, and specific problem. And it should lead them through a transformation that solves that problem. When you write your book with your reader in mind rather than to showcase your mad scientist brilliance, number 1, you're going to be way more relatable. Your book will be more readable and it will be more attractive to your ideal clients because they don't want to work with a prima donna. They don't want to work with Dr. Frankenstein. They probably want to work with his wife to be, actually. Anyway, that's tip number 1. Focus on your readers and their transformation, not all the wonderful things that you want to say and share and show that you are so brilliant. I know you're brilliant, but you don't have to show that in your book necessarily. So your action step is to shift your mindset so that you're focused on your reader, not your expertise. Tip number 2, bring your book to life with a clear transformation. Yes, I'm talking about the transformation again. Just like Dr. Frankenstein had a big vision for his creation, yes, it went terribly wrong. You need to have a big vision for your book. And unlike Frankenstein, you need to dial it in and get it very specific and get it clear. And if you can get it on paper, like a book promise, then it helps guide you through the entire process of writing your book. And you're in luck. If you go to carmaspence.com/challenge, you can sign up for the road trip to reach more clients. And by the end of 3 days, you will have a crystal clear, brilliant book promise. This will give your book a clear transformation that your ideal readers want and will attract better and more clients. So your action step is to complete this sentence. After reading my book, my ideal client will be able to blank. If you struggle to finish that sentence, your book's purpose isn't strong enough yet. Go back to the drawing board and make it stronger. Sometimes it's even easier to come up with a hypothetical book promise, then go through the process to fine tune it. There's a pro tip, extra pro tip. Tip number 3, don't build a monster. Stick to one core transformation. Frankenstein's mistake? He didn't create one fully functional human. He stitched together random parts and hoped for the best. Don't do that with your book. I've actually done that with a book, and I'm going to be fixing it probably next year. When your book doesn't focus on one clear transformation, it can kind of get messy. And when it gets messy, people get lost. They're not interested. They don't understand what the book really is going to do for them. They don't buy it. If they don't buy it, they can't become your ideal client, can they? You need them to buy it, read it, and then take the next step with you. If you focus in on one clear transformation for your client attracting book, you will write a better, tighter, more attractive book that also gets you all the other perks that being an author can give you. So your action step is to ask yourself this. If my reader could walk away with one major breakthrough from my book, what would it be? Everything else is extra parts that you don't need. Number 4, don't let your book become a disjointed monster. If you don't start with a solid outline, your book will turn into a Frankenstein nightmare, a collection of discombobulated ideas stitched together without a purpose. And the thing is, your readers, they sense it when you have a lack of direction and the book is kind of meanders around and it's just not an effective book. So, your action step is before you write, create a clear outline that logically flows from problem to solution. Each chapter should build upon the last like a well formed skeleton, not a messy collection of borrowed limbs. And what helps you write that outline that's clear is your book promise. So, again, if you join me on my free challenge, a road trip to reach more clients at karmaspence.com/challenge, you will go through the 3 steps of creating a crystal clear book promise. You will identify your customer transformation roadmap. You will dial in are your most ideal readers for the idea that you choose from that roadmap. And then you'll take those 2 pieces of information and craft a powerful and clear book promise that will lead to you creating a wonderful outline. Tip number 5, your book shouldn't roam aimlessly. It needs a purpose. Frankenstein's monster roamed about the forest aimlessly until he got a clear purpose. And then he sought his purpose relentlessly. If you read the book, he follows Dr. Frankenstein clear to the ends of the world because his purpose was so strong. Well, I'm not saying you want to hunt down your readers like Frankenstein's monster hunted down Frankenstein, but you do want to be very clear and you want to lead your readers on a very clear path, not roaming around the forest. So ask yourself this. This is your action step. After my reader finishes my book, what's the next logical step? How does this book move them closer to working with me? If you don't have an answer, your book needs a new blueprint. And the reason why you need to have the answer to this question before you write is because the book not only needs to lead the reader on a transformation within the book, it needs to lead them into wanting to get onto your email list and to work with you. Your book needs to be your first step, the easy step, the easy yes that gets your clients on a road to becoming your client. And if you don't know what the next step from your book is, you're going to have an ineffective book. It may be a great book. Public Speaking Superpowers was a great book, but I didn't write it with client attraction in mind. That was sort of an afterthought, and it didn't work as well. I have learned so much through publishing all the books I've published. I've learned so much, and I'm packing a lot of this information into this free 3-day challenge. So please join me at karmaspence.com/challenge, and I will see you on March 5th. Also, if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, please ring the bell, subscribe to my channel, like this video if you find it useful, obviously. And I will see you on Monday, bright and early at 9 a.m. on YouTube or earlier than that on LinkedIn. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.